Welcome to this presentation on assessment to support your success. I am Dr. Pam Basor, Associate Dean for Assessment. Joining me in this presentation is Mr. Chris Hamer, Manager of Academic Applications, Web Development, and Data Analytics. This presentation will provide you with a brief introduction on how you will be assessed both on your knowledge and clinical skills as a medical student. Assessment in medical school is rigorous, as you might expect. We as a school must be able to demonstrate your competence and preparedness for entering residency in order to fulfill our ultimate responsibility of protecting the public and ensuring patient safety. To do this, we need to explicitly demonstrate that not only did we teach you, but that you learned and can synthesize and apply clinical reasoning to all that you have learned in order to provide safe and effective patient care. Our approach to assessment is built to support your success in achieving this aim. Specifically, we adopted a pass-fail grading scale for all pre-clerkship training to allow you as students to get adjusted to medical school and focus on learning early on. We have also incorporated more formative assessments and feedback on exams. We use illumination quiz feedback sessions, exam strength and opportunity reports, exam review sessions, as well as Bridge Week performance reflection activities to specifically support your success. Our exams are also tailored to align with the National Board Blueprint and item format and are carefully evaluated by the assessment office and faculty for effectiveness and fairness. We also have incorporated benchmark assessments to help students gauge their progress throughout medical school. We measure your performance in three primary ways. First, through the achievement of competencies. Second, through the performance of very specific clinical skills. And thirdly, through grades and scores on internal and external exams. So when we talk about competencies, we are speaking of the domains of physician knowledge and skills as defined nationally. These domains are medical knowledge, osteopathic patient care, professionalism, practice-based learning and improvement, interpersonal and communication skills, and systems-based practice. Our school has developed 35 specific osteopathic competencies listed on this slide with expected behaviors for each level of your training. These are called milestones. These milestones provide the framework for how you are graded. You are evaluated as being either on target, approaching target, or below target for each competency. This is an example of the patient care competency. The competencies are specifically defined on the far right-hand column. The milestones are depicted by the yellow arrows. So for example, the first competency, 2.1, history and physical. During your first 2 years, you are expected to be able to demonstrate the elements of a focused and comprehensive medical interview, including relevant aspects of biopsychosocial information, demonstrate the elements of a focused and comprehensive physical and structural exam, and obtain accurate vital signs. There are similar milestones for each and every competency, and they can be accessed from the link provided at the top of this slide. Another important area of student evaluation is entrustable professional activities, or EPAs. These are essential skills for entering residency. These skills are often assessed through practice-based exams such as OSCEs, which stands for Objective Structured Clinical Exam, administered with patient actors known as standardized patients, or in simulation with mannequins and task trainers. These 13 skills were agreed upon nationally and encompass everything from history and physical exam to identifying system failures to promote patient safety. We also use grades and scores to assess your progress in both your knowledge and your clinical skills. As I previously mentioned, during your pre-clerkship training, you are graded on a pass-fail basis. The minimum passing score is 70%. In your clerkship training, the scale switches to a 4-point scale of honors, high pass, pass, and failure. Knowledge is assessed through both internal and national written exams. Most of your school-based exams will include a minimum of 100 items. Students are generally provided about 70 to 90 seconds per question. You can expect mostly problem-based or case-based questions, as well as integrated items that both test basic science and clinical science knowledge. The PBL track has generally one exam per module, while the SGL track has several exams per block. Our year-long courses have a full range of assessments. Students can also expect to have quizzes. Quizzes are specifically designed to give you feedback on your progress and help guide your studying. In addition to internal exams, all students are required to take and pass a number of national exams during medical school. Your first exam, the COMAT Foundational Biomedical Science exam, is given as a formative assessment during Bridge 1B near the end of your first year. You will receive detailed feedback on your performance to help guide your future studying. The second time you take the COMAT FBS during Bridge 2, it is a summative benchmark exam that you must pass to progress in medical school. You will also have exams that are used to assess readiness for the National Board exams. These are your COMSI exams. After your COMSIs, you will then take COMLEX Level 1 at the end of your pre-clerkship training in Year 2 and COMLEX Level 2 CE at the end of your third year. You will also have clinical COMAT exams that you must pass during your required clerkships. Clinical skills are evaluated in a number of ways as well. Practical exams are used specifically for osteopathic manipulative medicine skills and history taking and physical exam skills. To assess your patient care and clinical reasoning skills, we use OSCEs with standardized patients, and to assess procedures, we use mannequins and task trainers. Later in your training, you will be evaluated by your clinical preceptors as well. There are a number of benchmark exams to assess your clinical competence. There are two internal OSCEs. The first is the benchmark OSCE given during Bridge 2, just before you enter into clerkship training. The second is the capstone OSCE offered during Bridge 3 in their third year. Students must pass both exams to progress and subsequently take the National COMLEX Level 2 PE exam. Your fourth year will culminate in a residency boot camp during which you will be assessed on the 13 EPA skills. Is a passing grade of 70% enough to be successful? If your overall average is 70%, you are not where you want to be. We have found that an overall average of about 83 to 85% is predictive of success on the National Board exams. This does vary somewhat by track and will be reevaluated as we fully implement the new curriculum. But if you find that you're not reaching that target, you should be seeking additional support. All students generally need some level of support. Sometimes it's simply new study strategies or additional study aids. Others need a peer study group or formal tutoring. All of these resources are available through our Center for Teaching and Learning. I encourage you to reach out early for help. So other than your school grade average, how will you know if you are on target for where you need to be? The Bridge Week assessment sessions and the benchmark exams are specifically designed to help you gauge your progress, identify strengths and weaknesses, and ultimately your readiness for National Board exams. We also have a new Student Evaluation of Performance Committee known as the STEP Committee, whose purpose is to track and provide feedback on your progress in meeting competency milestones. The progress of all first-year students is reviewed in the spring of the first year. All of your performance data is also maintained in a comprehensive dashboard, which you can access through Center for Teaching and Learning. I'm going to turn the presentation over to Chris Hamer to introduce you to this important resource.
Thank you, Dr. Bayshore. So I'm going to take a few minutes going through the Soundmetric dashboard with you. But first here, you can see a list of different pages that make up the Soundmetrics dashboard. First is an overview page, which I'm going to show you a sample of in just a minute. Grades, which I'll also show you a sample of. National exam scores, which will be later on in your training. Competency and EPA performance, which we're going to break down with you in more detail during your Bridge 1A. Student performance on internal exams, broken out by content areas and systems. And finally, your pre-medical school background information, such as MCAT scores, GPA, education and degrees conferred, and other background information. So what you see now on the screen is a sample of the overview page, which highlights key performance indicators of student performance. Going down the sections of this page, you can first see pre-medical school performance indicators, including GPA and MCAT scores. You can see in the student status section that academic affairs tracks any changes to your student status over time, and these changes will appear on your dashboard. We also track average course grade performance and display this in the dashboard. This is grouped by level of training. In this case, you can see that the student's MS1 average and subsequently MS2, 3, and 4 will appear as the student progresses through his or her training. Each level also displays the average of the entire cohort as a basis for comparison. Any course failures or low course/clerkship performance are shown in the overview page to quickly highlight the volume of courses with low performance in any areas that a student may be in need of additional support. Finally, at the bottom of the page, performance on national board exams is displayed by exam. Any failures will be highlighted in pink so it's easy to find where any of these failures have occurred and where a student may need additional support. Here's another sample page from the dashboard, which focuses on the Rowan-SOM course grades. So when I speak about course grades, this is one area where you're going to be able to view your grade performance. You're also going to be able to see your grades directly in 145. Mr. David Ireland is going to be conducting a 145 presentation where he's going to go over the steps for this in more detail, so be on the lookout for that presentation. But to break down this view here and how it differs from 145, on the left, you have final numeric and letter grades per course, along with the class average shown in gray highlighting to provide a baseline for comparison. Immediately to the right of the scores, you can see a bar chart, which just visualizes the same information you see to the left in tabular format, but the bars are meant to be a quick and easy way to visually understand how the student is performing across the board. At the top right, you can see the color legend, which is based on a range of grades. Again, these colors are used to help give a very quick and easy visualization into students' performance without having to read each individual number, and it can be quickly consumed by the viewer. You may notice that one course is emphasized while the others are somewhat faded. What this is showing is the ability for the viewer to select a single course on your dashboard, and to the right of this, a breakdown of each individual component from the selected course will appear. This table here is formatted similarly to the table on the left, but focuses on individual components of a course and not just the final numeric grade. As you can see, this dashboard has a lot of great information to support your success. Please note, access to the dashboard is extremely limited and kept for internal use, and has been carefully vetted to only grant access to those who need this information in guiding your performance throughout medical school and to support your success. So this includes the assessment office, CTL advisors, academic and student affairs deans, our student academic progress, SAPC, and our student evaluation of progress, also known as STEP committees, and eventually your designated MSPE advisor, which will be explained to you more in depth at a later date. You do not have direct access to your own dashboard, so to review your dashboard, as Dr. Bayshore mentioned, please schedule a meeting with your CTL advisor to go over your dashboard in more depth.
Thank you, Chris, for that overview of the dashboard. It is such a tremendous resource for you as students, and I really encourage you to use it to support your success. We in the assessment office, Mr. Hamer and myself, are also available to support your success. Feel free to reach out to me by email at any time that you think we can be helpful to support you. Thank you.